Hey, what's up guys? Edgy Edgelord 69420 here, and welcome to another video. So this video, as you can see, right here we have the my land rig. Now, this isn't officially part 3 of upgrades and stuff, but this video is basically going to be covering 2 upgrades I got for the machine. The first one is an SSD. I got this today. This is a SanDisk SSD SSD Plus 120 gig solid state drive. So just show you, you can see it is a 120 gig drive. Got this for $45 off of a local, well not local, but like a buy swap sell page. And yeah, so it's was supposedly lightly used as just a like a test bench drive. So you know, but yeah, $45 for a 120 gig SSD. Now 120 gig might not seem like a lot, but like you know, for what this machine's going to be used for, it doesn't need that much. This is just going to be the boot drive, and I have a couple of programs on there, and then I've got a 1 terabyte storage drive, which I'm going to stick. Well, it's already in there. Right now, the configuration is a 500 gig boot drive, just a mechanical drive, and a 1 terabyte mechanical drive for games and storage. This SSD is going to replace that 500 gig because yeah, SSD over hard drive any day of the week. The next thing I got is this. This is a Thermaltake Versa H15 case. So I picked this up off that same page for $40. This was actually local to me. This one I got in the mail, but this was actually local to me. Just up the same town where I was, you know, studying actually. So that's just like a half an hour away from where I live. So I went and picked this up. But yeah, it's a little micro ATX case because as you guys know, the Land Rig's motherboard is micro ATX, and it's a full-size ATX case, which is, you know, not really that acceptable to me. Yeah, I know a lot of people do that, but it's just like, you know, I want to keep that system micro ATX. The whole point of the Land Rig is for it to, you know, be portable, and having a full-size ATX case isn't that portable. Whereas this is much more portable. It's much smaller, and also this is just a nicer case in general. As you can see, it has a window here. This actually isn't stuck to the case. This is a custom job that was apparently done to it. Let me take the side panel off here. But as you can see, it's just acrylic plastic. It's not glass. But yeah, you can see it is a custom job. It's basically looks like it's got some tape there. I think it is glued in, but it has like this tape protecting it. Like that doesn't bother me. You can't see it at all from the outside. So but it is just a plastic window. And here's the rest of the case. As you can see, we do have it has a 120mm fan in it. All the front panel I/O stuff is up here. So we have one 5 1/4 inch bay. Not, you know, we don't need more than that really. Only have one optical drive going in this. We have two 3.5 inch drives, which these have sleds that they go on. I have the sleds over on the other side of my room, but yeah, I do have the sleds for the drive bays. For the two 3.5 inch drives, and I think you can mount a couple of 2.5 inch drives up here, which is what I plan to do. Yeah, this SSD I think can go like this, or on the other side if you want to mount it on the other side. And I'm not sure how I'll mount the SSD yet. So we have a bottom mounted power supply, painted interior. Obviously, it's nice and black. There is a big cutout for the CPU cooler. Let me just take the other side panel off here. So the other side panel is off now. As you can see, we have a nice huge cutout for the CPU cooler. So for like your CPU cooler backplate. Yeah, very nice case. I actually like this quite a lot. So we have one 5 1/4 inch bay. The entire front is like it's like a mesh that's vented, so which is nice. Front panel just pops right off. Just like this. Front panel just comes right off. You can see it's filtered as well. Filter looks a bit dusty, but you know, it doesn't bother me. It's just like the Cooler Master case. It's just like this soft mesh or soft foam, really. We can see you can mount a couple of 120mm fans here, and you can adjust the positioning of them. That's why there's these bigger holes here. So yeah, we have the 5 1/4 inch bay. There's all the front panel cables. Up the top here, we can see we have headphone and microphone jacks, power reset button, and a USB 3.0 port and a USB 2.0 port. Unfortunately, this USB 3.0 port's not going to be able to be used because the motherboard that is in my Land Rig does not have USB 3.0. See, the system that was originally in here was some sort of Intel Pentium based system. That looks like the Skylake Pentium badge. have an HDMI badge from an HDMI cable. We have a 220mm fan mounts at the top here. This would be perfect for like an all-in-one cooling radiator, for an all-in-one liquid cooling thing. For an all-in-one liquid cooler, rather. Sorry. Or you could just mount a couple 120mm fans in there. I'm probably not going to use those. I'm just going to have one fan in the back here. Probably just keep this one in there. It has a nice sleeved cable too. Don't know how loud the fan is, but yeah. And I'm going to stick one of my other fans that's in the other case in the front here. But yeah, it looks like a very nice case. So if I just flip it over to the bottom here, you can see we have pretty tall feet for it, as well as a removable dust filter for the power supply, which is very nice. So yeah, very nice case. That's not too flashy, but it's pretty basic. So I'm gonna get the old system apart, and we're gonna chuck it in this new case, as well as the SSD. I'm gonna get my Windows install. I'm just gonna clone the existing one on there because it's not that old, and I just have to shrink the partition down small enough that it'll fit on that, because it's coming from a 500 gig drive down to a 120, so I should be able to do that. Shrink the Windows partition down and clone it to that drive, and then as well as stick the computer in this case. It is missing two of the slot blanks here, but like that doesn't matter to me because I'm going to be putting a graphics card in there anyway. Yeah, it's a pretty well ventilated case, it looks like. Like this entire front's just mesh, and yeah, so there we go. Alright, so I've got the new case ready to mount the board in, so I just got to put the I/O shield in to do that. Now just remembered that. So yeah, got to put the I/O shield in, but I'll put all the standoffs in their appropriate places. There's not many spots in this one because it is a micro ATX case, so like really only have the basic MATX options. This one's like a full width MATX board, so I have the ones in the corner there and there. But yeah, so those are in. Dusted out the case. This case actually smells like fucking weed. Yeah, I think the previous owner was a bit of a 420 blazer. He liked to 420 blaze it.
Every time I smoke the kush, I let the flames burn like George Bush. Every time I hit the bong, I need to scream. Shut the fuck up. You're a fucking cunt.
Yeah, anyway, so I'm going to mount the motherboard in. Just going to put the I/O shield in and mount the board in. Holy crap, this board was a tight fit in this case. You can see it like fills up the entire like motherboard tray area. Now, why was it such a pain? Well, like you can see this board is like a full-length ATX board, but you can see this piece of metal here, like this part of the case here, is actually raised up a bit from the motherboard tray and the rest of it. So normally when you would put a board in, you put it in at an angle so you can like get in the I/O shield and then put the other side down. Well, I couldn't really do that because this board like was like conflicting with this area, so like it was a very, very, very tight fit to get this board in this case, but it does fit. It's supposed to be in here because as you can see there are standoffs. Well, it's screwed in now, but it does support this full-size, full-length micro ATX board, so yeah, it's in. So there we go. Rest of the system should be pretty easy to put together, though. I really like this case. I like how open it is. Like, you can just remove everything, and, you know, if I needed to, which I did need to, actually, and I like to screw in one of this, no, I had to, like, stick my hand here through for something to adjust it, and I can't because the entire front is open. So yeah, I like this case quite a lot, so I'm going to put the rest of the system together here. I should also mention that behind the motherboard tray here, because this is a full-length board, I can't use the cable management holes on the back here. However, you may have noticed that there are holes right here and right there. So you can still do your cable management even if you have a full-size board. You just stick them through these holes rather than the holes on the back of the motherboard tray. So that's pretty nice. I like that. So it's been a little while, and well, I've built the entire system into the new case now. Everything's in here except for the SSD, because I need to clone this hard drive here, the 500 gig, shrink the partition down and put it on the SSD. So I gotta do that after I get this all done, but everything's all in here. Yeah, it's a very interesting case to work in, this one. It's a bit different than what I'm used to. Well, not really, but like, it's, cable management, well, yeah, I'm not sure how I'm gonna get the side panel on. There's no room for cable management back here, except for the right side panel, has like an indent in it, so like I might be able to just shove some things, you know, in places, but I have to make sure they're like within this indented part here, because there's actually no room for cables except for here. But honestly, this side, the main where you're gonna look at it, I think that looks great. Honestly, that's super clean. At least that's the best I can really do. There's not much you can really do in terms of cable management with this. One problem I sort of faced was with the optical drive here. On the other side, there's a hole here, and I tried to run the front panel cables through that, but the optical drive wouldn't go in. And now I know that for this computer, an optical drive really isn't necessary, but like, you know, if I can put one in, I will put one in, because I like having one available. Even though I don't need one for this computer at all, I think I only ever used it to install Windows, and that was about it for this machine. But I still like having it in there, you know, because I'm fucking, you know, I like having an optical drive, like, big deal. But yeah, so I couldn't use that hole to put the cables in, so like a lot of the cables, one thing I'm not very happy about is, well, I've got to sort out this, the 4-pin CPU connector here, as well as, all the cables, like, you can, like, they run through this hole here, and I can't run any more through that anyway, but I don't need to, so it was a bit of a pain to try and get the, optical drive power cable there, running through there. So like you can see a lot of the cables run through this hole here, and the 24 pin, that was a pain in the ass to even connect. That connection is so tight. Everything's like a lot of things are a really tight fit in this case. This motherboard was a tight fit. This 24 pin connector was a tight fit. A lot of things were. One thing that's not ever going to be a tight fit though is trying to fit in a graphics card. This thing can take a really long GPU, so if I ever upgraded my main machine, I could stick the old 7970 in here, which is a big card, and that would fit just nicely in here. It's much bigger than the 7850 that's in there now. As you can see, I did change out the power supply, and that's because, well, mostly because of aesthetics. Even though I know the Antec that I had in the old case is a better power supply than this, the CX600M is actually made by Channelwell. It's not a very good unit, honestly. It's not a very good power supply. It is 80 plus bronze, but like, you know, these are known to be sort of unreliable. And honestly, I sort of have a bit of a, like, this one I ran for 3 years, and then my main rig died, and I originally blamed it on this, but I sort of don't anymore because it hasn't really shown signs of failure. I'm not really sure about it, but I mostly put it in here because of aesthetics. I really didn't want like because this has black cables as well as it's a black power supply, and like a black case around the power supply, and so I really didn't want like a just a metal colored power supply in here, an unpainted one with mustard cables is what I like to call them. Every cable in here except for the 24 pin. The 24 pin is sleeved except up to the connector there, so you can see the rainbow wires, but every other cable in here is black. So with this power supply, which is what I like. So a lot of the cables here, you can't really see them that easily unless if you really get in there and look. So yeah. Other than that, I think this thing looks fantastic. Let me get the windowed side panel and show you guys what it looks like with the window. And that just fell down there. So if I just grab this and put this on and show you what it looks like with the window. I've never had a case with a window before. So believe it or not, my main case doesn't have one. My main case is a Bitfinex Shinobi, for those wondering. So my main case is a Bitfinex Shinobi, for those wondering, and there is a windowed version of that, but it looks really stupid because it's like on a stupid angle. I think it looks ridiculous, so I didn't buy it. However, this window looks fantastic. I love this thing. It's not a glass window, it's just plasticky, so you can see some like fingerprint marks there. They're sort of a hard bit of a pain to try and rub off because it's plastic and this will scratch easily, but honestly, looking at it from a distance, it looks great. like that. There's no lighting in the case. If I turn this light off here, you can see it's, you know, fairly dark, but like, if I just shine the light over the system there, you can see it lights it up nicely. I'm thinking, like, because it's shining through these vents here, I'm thinking maybe I might get a an LED, like an LED strip here. You know, one of those multiple color LED strips, and or maybe just like probably a blue or a white one is what I'd probably put in here. Blue, either white because white suits everything, or blue because most of the things in here are blue. Like there's the motherboard and the graphics card there have a blue PCB, so like I reckon that would look good. Or a white one. White usually goes with everything fairly well. So, but yeah, I might do that actually. Get like an LED strip and just stick that in there and give it some case lighting, because now I have a window. So a lot of people really don't pay attention to cable management, and they sort of give me a hard time for obsessing over it. But when you have a case with a window, it really makes sense to actually make a good job of it, because you're going to be looking inside the case. So, and even though I did actually do a pretty good job at cable managing my main system, which doesn't have a case window, and if it did, you wouldn't be able to see it because it's shoved in that cubby hole there. This one will probably just sit here. I'm probably going to move the XP rig to the other side there because it's just a bigger case. I want to have the smaller one on top of the desk. So, and I want to be able to see inside the window. So, I really like this case. And I really love the front aesthetic of it. This DVD drive is perfect with it's just like I love the plain look of this DVD drive and the front aesthetic here. So I think that looks really sharp. One thing that I'm kind of not too happy about is I wasn't able to put an intake fan in the front here. Now I can definitely mount one in there, and I actually did mount one before I realized I can't actually use it. So I had one right in the top here, but I realized my optical drive is covering my fan connector there. That is the front fan. That is the front fan. That red connector right there. I can't use it. The optical drive's in the way, and I can't move the optical drive any more forward. Otherwise, it'll stick out. This is flush with the front. So yeah, that's not going to be a thing as a front intake fan. I'm kind of disappointed that I wasn't able to use it. There's no other fan header on the board. This motherboard's not the best. It's only got 3 fan headers. One for the CPU, one for the rear exhaust fan, and one for the front intake fan. So yeah, I can't use the front intake fan. But honestly, his system runs fairly cool. So I mean, the i7 gets kind of toasty at times, but that's what this cooler is for. Under this cooler, it runs fairly okay. Under the stock cooler, I did try the i7 underneath the stock cooler, it ran fairly toasty. I think it'll be fine without a front intake. There's enough open air here that it might just yeah, I don't know, but so I can't really put an intake in unless I get some sort of fan controller maybe. Anyway, that's the system. I'm going to try and fix up this cable management here. And then I'm going to clone the hard drive to the SSD, and then we're going to mount the SSD probably here. So we're going to mount the SSD about here or so, probably there. Then we'll have it all good, and this thing will be basically complete. This computer will basically be complete. It has the i7, has a GPU, has an SSD, and it has a new case. So I've got the operating system cloned to the SSD now. But before we boot that up and show you how fast it is, I'm going to boot up the mechanical drive just for a comparison. So when I got the machine, before it was rebuilt, the drive I've been using in it has been a 500 gig Seagate 7200.12 mechanical hard drive, 7200 RPM, obviously. Yeah, it's actually an okay drive, but it's still a mechanical drive, and SSDs are much faster. Any SSD is much faster than a mechanical drive. It's just plain obvious to anyone who isn't a fucking retard. So last time I did a video upgrading to an SSD in a machine, it was a T420, and that was a very unfair comparison because that machine on its mechanical drive had a really broken and just slow and not very optimized install of Windows 10, and the SSD, the new SSD, was reformatted with a clean, fresh install of Windows 7. So not very, comparable the two. However, this time with this machine, I've kept the same install because it's a fresh install. I installed it in January. It's Windows 7 Professional, 64-bit. So yeah, that's what's going to be on here. So I'm just going to boot up mechanical drive first, and then we're going to go to the SSD. So I have a stopwatch here, so we can see how fast it is. So we just, alright, get ready to boot it up. I'm not going to edit this out at all. I'm just going to, like, you know, do this in real time for you guys. Exact same install. So basically all I did was shrink the partition on the mechanical drive, clone it over to the SSD, and then, you know, that's basically it. So we're just going to get to a login prompt and then we'll count it as done. Okay, so it took about 38 seconds to boot into Windows on the mechanical hard drive. You can see though, the access light is still going, so the drive is still booting up. So we're not going to count logins just yet, but yeah, so 38 seconds for the mechanical drive. So I'm going to go switch over the SATA cables now and go over to the SSD. So now the SSD is plugged in, so we'll get the stopwatch ready, and we'll boot her up. So 3, 2, 1, go. And like just before, we'll get to the login prompt. Alright, there we are. So it was a total of 30 seconds, so we shaved off 8 seconds in the boot time. Now I know, you know, more modern versions of Windows like Windows 8 and 10 actually do boot up quicker on SSDs. But just to prove to you that it is just not just the boot time that is faster, you know, if I just log in here, learn how to type the right password, it is just generally much quicker. See, the other machine would still be logging in by now. It actually took a dog's age to log in on the old mechanical drive on this for whatever reason. Generally, once it was booted up, it was fine, but like, see, we don't have to wait for anything to like boot up anymore. It's just generally, you know, pretty quick. See, Chrome usually takes forever to boot up on a mechanical drive. So, if I open, let's see, do I have anything that's like not web-based that will like open? Yeah, I'll just open fucking Windows Movie Maker. There we are. I never use this on this computer, but like there we go. So like, just to show you how quick the machine is. So it's, you know, just generally very responsive. See if there we are. So I need to rerun the Windows Experience Index there, but yeah, there we go. SSD upgrades, I definitely approve. I have 3 SSDs now, and well, no, 4 technically if I count my Surface Pro. But yeah, definitely SSD upgrades across the board on all the machines that I sort of need them in. I really don't need them in. There's one machine I have that could probably use one. An old Dell laptop I use as a loaner machine. It's got a Core 2 Duo in it. That should get SSD as well. But there we go. So that is the rebuild of the LAN rig. So there we go. It's in a nice new case now, and it has a nice SSD in it. So this machine's basically perfect now. Honestly, only the one other thing I would probably ever do to it is upgrade the GPU, but and I'd only do that with the 7970 I have in my main rig. If I decide to upgrade that one day, then that can go in here. That's also another reason why I put the CX600 power supply in there. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. But yeah, so one day if I decide to upgrade my main rig, the 7970, which requires 2 8-pin connectors, PCI Express connectors, could go in here, because this power supply, even though it's not as good as the Antec that I was using before, the Antec doesn't have enough capacity, well, enough connectors to power that 7970, and I do have a couple of like dual 6-pin to 8-pin adapters, but like that hasn't got enough 6 pins to power those. I would need 4 6-pin connectors to power, you know, the two 8-pin adapters I have to power that GPU. But this Corsair power supply, even though it's not as good, and something will probably happen to this machine by having it in there because it has been a bit unlucky in the past, it'll be able to power that 7970 because it has two 6+2s on it. So yeah, but for now, this machine's going to be just fine for what I want to use it for. Basically just as a secondary machine. If I need a machine while I'm working on something over here, this is basically it. If I need a machine to take somewhere, now I can, because it's nice and small, it's compact, it's not very heavy either, it's pretty light too, which I like. It's generally just a very nice machine. For the amount I paid for it too, like the amount of money I've put into this, it's a really good performer. The i7 870, 8 gigs of RAM, the 120 gig SSD, as well as the 1TB mechanical drive, which I'm still keeping in there. So I'm keeping in the 1TB mechanical storage drive, as well as that 120 gig SSD. The 500 gig drive's getting the cut because, well, it doesn't need to be in there. As well as this nice new case and the Radeon 7850 that's in it too. So I really like it. So that'll probably be it for this series of videos on this computer. I really have nothing else to do to it anymore. So there we go. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what you thought of it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one.
We'll shake it.